What you are about to hear might just keep you up tonight. Welcome to Hauntcore Vault. I worked at a convenience store. There is also a halfway house full of medicated, unstable psycho people around the corner from where I live, so they often come into the store. I was 17 when this all happened. There was this one woman who from afar seemed normal, but up close, something was off. Her makeup was a bit weird. She would wear bright red lipstick, sometimes yellow or bright pink, and always a bit messy. She always wore the same thing and walked around like she was slightly confused. I remember the first time she entered the store. She bought a 30-cent pack of gum with a $10 bill. As I was giving her change, she stared at me in a very creepy way. She didn't blink. She complimented me, "You're so pretty and beautiful. I want to be like you," with an eerie grin. Thanks. Here is your change." Then she said, "You know, I have $1 million. I'm also going to marry Ryan Seacrest, and we're going to live on a big house on the moon. I would tell you where I hid my $1 million, but I have the power to not tell you." She also said many more wacky things similar to this. Okay, and off she went. I figure, oh, it's just one of the schizophrenic people from around the corner. They never cause any harm. She began frequenting the store much more. She would enter with a silent smile, walk around the store without breaking eye contact, and leave in silence. Just went in just to stare. I told my friends about her, and they agreed she was creepy as fuck, so I started carrying around pepper spray just in case. Then she began to actively stalk. I would be walking my dog, and she'd be staring at me from behind a car. I would be sitting on my balcony, and she'd shout, "Hey, Thought Factory, you look so pretty today." I would be walking down a store aisle, and she would be behind a rack, giggling and whispering to herself. I'd turn around, and she'd run away. I had it up to here. There were also a few other places where she ran into me. Why the fuck is she stalking me? The final straw was when she broke into my house a few days later, and I have webcam footage of this. I was ready to take a shower one night when I heard the front door open from all the way in my room. I heard a faint, "Oh, so this is Thought Factory's house." I freaked the fuck out. I turned my laptop webcam on for evidence in case anything went down and stood over by my phone. I was panicking. I ask, "What are you doing here?" And she asks, I wanted to see if you were in here. Do you have a phone I could borrow?" "Go use the one outside." "I don't have enough money." "It's only like 35 cents. "I don't have 35 cents. "Yeah, well, you can't be in here, so go." She turns around, and I stand there watching her as she leaves. I hear some rustling by my door. I run over, and I see her stuffing some of my family's dirty laundry clothes into her shirt. "Leave that alone. That is not yours." She dumps it out with the quickness and runs out the door. I called the police on her, and she never stalked me again. The last night I saw her, she was giving a homeless guy a blowjob outside of my window around 2 a.m. while his homeless friends watched and jerked off. One guy started crying because of envy and stormed off. My ex had a stalker for 2 years, 1 year before I met her and during the first year that we dated. He would never do anything too drastic, a few phone calls here and there with no speaking, following her, making her feel uncomfortable. And whenever we called the police, they said there was really nothing they could do due to the lack of evidence. Really, the final straw was when he kicked in the door while we were home. The alarm system scared him off, but we called the police per usual, and they said they would look into it. I felt that they were taking too long with the whole situation and decided to take matters into my own hands. I know this is extremely dangerous now that I'm looking back at it, but I was a wild guy. Anyways, we devised a plan. My girlfriend would leave the house alone, and she would tell me if he was tailing her. If he was, I would tail him. Well, he was. The fact that he wasn't in jail infuriated me, so I lost it and took matters into my own hands. While my ex went into the local pharmacy, he parked and waited for her. In a fit of rage, I walked up to his car, opened his door, and beat the living shit out of him. I feel I went overboard because I'm a pretty big guy, and once he was on the ground, I began to stomp his jaw, which in turn unhinged it. I told him if he continued, I'd eventually kill him, and he never returned. The guy who was stalking her was, get this, a guy who had a crush on her in high school. Not an ex, not a lover, but a deranged freak. I still have nightmares about the door incident to this day, though.